I have just about everything I need to celebrate the holidays, but I'm cruising for one more must-have item. A fun field registration for Corvettes at Carlisle. Buy yours before January 3rd and save 20% off the full price. Purchase yours online at carlisleevents.com. And Merry Christmas from all of us at Corvettes at Carlisle.
Welcome to Corvettes at Carlisle. The people that run the Carlisle show are probably the greatest bunch of guys around. What makes them the way they are, I think, is they're all Corvette enthusiasts, and that makes a big difference. This is probably the biggest show like this in the country and the biggest display of Corvettes, I would say. And the nicest cars, for sure.
Wonderful. Good show. Lots of Vettes. Good prices. Nice time. How about you?
Well, if you had one of these back in the 50s, you were known as a little guy whose mom and daddy had money.
Fantastic.
We are enjoying
Absolutely
it a lot.
Phenomenal.
It's
Flipping
better
out.
than ever.
Yeah.
Really
Best show we've ever been to. You think we're having a good time? We having a good time, honey?
You bet. Mwah.
Everybody drives Corvettes. People who express themselves with their cars and people who just like nice American machinery. They're reliable sports cars. They're unique.
It's people who are energetic, I think, that feel good about themselves in general. Those are the kind of people that you'll see driving Corvettes. They have a real high outlook on life and a real energetic individual. So that's the kind of person who drives Corvette.
No other car looks like them. And they all have the same mystique, the same Corvette feel and smell and drive behind them.
You know, women drive them. And it's, you know, like Danny was saying, it's the aura, it's the power in them, the sound, the feel. It's different than any other kind of car. You know, it's just, you wouldn't know it unless you get in one and you drive it. It's got a certain feel to it.
The Corvette, America's only true sports car. Since its introduction nearly 40 years ago, this unique line of cars has been driven, collected, longed for, and loved by men and women all over America and throughout the world. Over the decades, the car has spawned a huge following. Its sleek lines, roaring power, nimble handling, and all-around good looks have charmed and seduced drivers and their passengers around the world.
It's the magic, really. Nora is a magic. It's like I said, people looking back at their youth. It's something. It's the fountain of youth, and that's what a Corvette's about.
And when you get a bunch of Corvette lovers together, it's not long before you hear the words beauty, power, grace, but most of all, you'll hear talk of the Corvette mystique.
It's the nostalgia, it's the whole aura of the Corvette, and it's America's sports car, and that's why people come.
A truly awesome event, Corvettes at Carlisle packs in as much automotive entertainment as anyone can experience in a weekend.
It's well organized. All of their shows here are well organized shows. Traffic, crowd control, the way it's laid out, plenty of space. It's a good show.
Once spectators and participants pass onto the sprawling fairgrounds, they find acres and acres of spectacular cars, hard-to-find parts, and unique displays. Combined with the food, fun, and activities, Carlisle truly becomes Vette City.
Most Corvettes I've ever seen in one spot. A lot of selection as far as...
The parking lot becomes a show in itself with row upon row of fiberglass-bodied masterpieces. Every type of Corvette is on display here.
It's pretty well organized, though. They have a lot of events, and most of all, they have a lot of Corvettes. You'll never see this many anywhere.
From stock bodies to radical statements, from the earliest Vettes to the famous split-window cruiser. This is the place to be for automotive enthusiasts. It's a mini Woodstock for Corvette lovers.
It has like an aura about it, you know?
Yeah.
It's plastic, 630.
I mean, when you see one come down the street, heads turn.
You have to see it to believe it. I couldn't explain it to anybody, and they wouldn't understand it unless they were here.
The creator of this phenomenon of motorabilia is a self-described kid himself. Chip Miller is the man who gave life to Vette City.
For most of my adult life, I've collected and enjoyed Corvettes as a hobby and as a means of transportation. Started off just wanting to have a group of people in, give them a place to buy parts and buy the cars that they love also. Now when you come to the Corvette show, what you'll see is basically a mob scene. A packed house full of Corvettes, the enthusiasts, the parts, the cars, the magazines, and the fun that comes with Corvette ownership and Corvette party. And this is what I consider to be the biggest Corvette party in the world. I used to trailer my Corvettes from site to site and show them. That's really not where it's all about, I don't feel now. I think it really happens when you get behind the wheel, you turn the key, the fuel injection starts to sing, the mufflers sound, you put your foot on the throttle, you put it in the gear, and away you go. That's what the Corvette's really all about. Corvettes new and old are it. They're beautiful, they have sex appeal, they appeal to everybody, almost.
As distinctive as the Corvette is from any other car, for some there are still new areas to explore, boundaries to expand, and ideas to see come to life. Few cars have given customizers the thrill that the Corvette has. There's something about the car's swoopy looks that excites their creativity. But for some, the stock Corvette is only the beginning. For them, the car as it rolled off the assembly line is merely a rough draft for what it can become. Over the years, no matter what other kinds of cars General Motors produced, the Corvette has always been special. It has always stood out from the crowd. Innovative performance features have been the norm with the Corvette. Being beautiful is only the start. Performing well has been equally important to the Corvette builders and buyers. Thanks to its satisfying blend of beauty, power, comfort, and handling, the Corvette has been a winner in car shows, on the street, and at the track. It's no wonder the car has become the signature of American automaking. Some cars may be quicker and others more powerful, but few have struck the endearing chord of excellence as has the Corvette. When you open the door and climb inside a Corvette, you've entered a whole new world. Corvettes of the 50s were stylish knockouts, true classics in every sense. Their graceful lines gave new life to the often bulky American automobile. Here was a car that could compete with the best of the world. Put down the top, grab the gear shift, and drive. This wasn't a date, it was a lifelong love affair and marriage. And once you've fallen for a Corvette, there's no turning back, even if for some it might seem the car clouds the senses. But making its distinctive mark has always been the way of the Corvette. And don't try to sell the idea that it's just another car. Nobody will believe you. From its earliest years as a pioneering sports car to its heyday as an all-conquering American creation, the Corvette has always been distinctive, always unique.
If you look around all these Corvettes, they all have a little bit different accessories, a little bit of different touch to them. Everybody's got their own thing going.
They're sexy. Extremely sexy. And we have one, so we're Corvette lovers.
Well, they've progressed quite aerodynamically. You have this 54 here, which is a beautiful piece of machinery, is how it started. And this one over here is how it's ending up to date, which is, I think, is a work of art.
There are Corvettes galore here, but my personal favorites are the ones from the 50s. These are the cars I grew up with, the cars I dreamed about, the cars I read about, the cars that I couldn't afford.
Today, the 50s Corvettes are among the most sought after. In 1953, the year of the Corvette's birth, most American cars were giant bulks of iron and chrome. Those mammoths were big enough to live in. But from the beginning, the Corvette was built for speed. It was light and quick. Here was a car in which to experience life. The swoopy body, wraparound windshield, toothy grille, and recessed headlights marked a new breed. Here was a car that was different, that required more of its owner than just turning the key and stepping on the accelerator. The early years were rough going. The first run of the Corvette was nearly its last. Early options were few. It had no roll-up windows, but tricky-to-use clip-on side curtains. The first-year Corvette even lacked an exterior door handle. To get in, you had to reach inside and open the door from there. Only 300 of the cars were built in 1953, and even priced at just $3,500, sales were slow. For some of the early buyers, this was the car to love. For others, though, the Corvettes seemed like more trouble than they were worth.
The cars were very rudimentary, but back then, people that liked sports cars were driving MGs and similar cars that lacked creature comforts also. The American public really wasn't ready for that type of a sports car, and it almost killed the Corvette. In 1956, Chevrolet solved the problem. They came out with a car that appealed to the American buying public. The car had roll-up windows, had a hard top, it had crank windows, no more side curtains. It was just a more civilized car. It had the performance, it had the looks, it had the mystique that created what we all idolize today, at least us Corvette nuts. By 1957, production was on its way up. The Corvette was discovered. The Americans had their own personal sports car. That's the era that I love. That's the year I like to drive. That's the year I remember. Top down, fuel injection singing, Beach Boys playing over the radio. And it's really what we're trying to recreate today. I think it's why I'm still into it and probably why I always will be. I always want to be 20 years old.
Powered by an array of high-performance engines, the first Corvettes have become the most desirable to own.
I have just about everything I need to celebrate the holidays, but I'm cruising for one more must-have item, a gift card from Carlisle Events. Spend your gift card just about anywhere on the fairgrounds next summer on things like food, merchandise, and more. Purchase one online at CarlisleEvents.com, and Merry Christmas from all of us at Carlisle Events.
Sexy, cool, macho, the Corvette cries out for adjectives. And though desired by millions, it takes a special breed to own a Corvette.
What kind of man drives a Corvette?
A real man.
I don't know. I think it's an extension of their. I don't know how to say it, but this is what I tell him all the time.
What kind of man drives a Corvette?
Idiot, I think, but I don't know. A fun guy. And we're in trouble here.
It's definitely a man's car.
Macho man, you mean, or your typical bachelor, or really anybody, I guess, can drive a Corvette, buy one, own one?
Actually, I guess all types of men really do, but you think of a certain amount of sex appeal going along with a man that drives a Corvette, being good looking and most of the virtues people look up to in men.
All kinds. Accountants, muscle bodybuilders, wimps, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not going to say. My husband does. He thinks rednecks drive Corvettes, but I don't believe him.
What do you think?
I'm not sure. The jury's still out on that
No, you can't say that on TV. You can't generalize like that. All different kinds of people.
A man is so masculine that drives a Corvette. It's exciting, you know. So the mundane, everyday car, it's just something exciting about it.
That rush that goes through you when you get in the car, it's an undescribable feeling you get when you get in the car that you don't need drugs, you don't need anything else to get that rush feeling through your body that you get from anything else. You get in this car and it's all natural. I mean, if you want to get a shot of adrenaline flow and do it legally, you get a Corvette. That's what you get.
I don't know. These people are fanatical. I was up at 5:30 this morning watching one, so I don't know.
Serious, whatever the hell it is tough. The Batmobile, man, that's what it is. Look at it. Check it out. The front, the back. Get him, Robin, get him!
I think the thing that draws people to Carlisle is the overall ease of operation of the facility. It's the fact that we have all the proper environment to have fun in. We've got the food, we've got the car parts, we've got the cars, we've got the attitude. It's just a general friendly atmosphere at Carlisle. Years ago, my partner and I started Corvettes at Carlisle. It came from my heart and my love for the Corvette automobile. From the early days of driving a Corvette, which for me was over 20 years ago, there's one thing that we do universally, and we still do, and that's why it's a show of friendship. We show our hands, we wave, and we're buddies. It doesn't matter whether we're ever going to meet the person in the other car. I don't know of any other car made in America that this happens. There's even a show in the parking lot. From the very first year, we started off with about 500 Corvettes being driven in. The word spread, you can drive your Corvette to Carlisle and park exclusively with other Corvettes. This year, approximately 7,000 Corvettes filled our parking lots to overflow proportions. I don't know what we're going to do next year. Sooner or later, we're going to have to exclude just the regular family cars and go strictly to Corvettes. This could possibly be the largest gathering of Corvettes anywhere in the world. We want to give the spectators their money's worth and more. That's why we have so many things here that they can relate to, that they can enjoy, and they can go home smiling. Among them, the swap meet. They can buy their parts, they can buy their literature, they can buy everything they need to keep their car going, to restore their car, to make it better. We also have the NCCC show, which is a judged concours. About 100 cars compete for awards.
I guess because of all the sports car, it's probably the most affordable. You get more punch for the dollar than any other sports car, like a Ferrari or anything like that. 53 was the first year, and there was only 300 of them built. And then 54, there was like a couple thousand. Then 55, it was starting to die, and they talked about canceling it. But then in 56, they came out with the V8, and that's what resurrected the Corvette. It was a 265 V8 back then. And when the Corvette met the V8, I mean, that's when it all started. That's when things went crazy. 1957 was the year that broke it wide open for Corvette, because that's when it met the V8 engine, and it was always sold as a performance car with some luxury items, but it didn't really get the serious performance till 57 when the V8 came out. 58 was just a jazzed up version of the 57, and then 59 they put all the chrome on it and the straps down the back of the trunk and all that. That's when they, and 58 and 59 had the two headlights in front instead of the one. And then 60 was similar with some refinements. They took some of the chrome off it. And then in 61 was the first big styling change. They put the new type front end on it.
Many purists frown on radical changes being made in the Corvette. They love and maintain the cars as they were built. However, you can't discount the gorgeous looks of this 1957 Pro Street Black Mariah. Rod Saburi is a longtime hot rodder and car builder. Many of his high-performance creations have been featured in enthusiast magazines like Hot Rod and Carcraft.
Is the Corvette the true American sports car?
Yeah,
why is that?
For sure. That's my opinion, but I think it's the opinion of a lot of people. It's just it's the only car that's built here in the United States that's even close to that. All the other cars are trying to copy it, but most of the cars that are trying to copy it now are being built overseas.
Well, you have Firebirds and Camaros, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they're a sports car.
What separates a Corvette, say, from any other American car?
Probably the appearance and the handling of them. Yeah. And appearance, the handling, and the performance, for sure.
How are the new Corvettes so different from the older Corvettes?
Of course, the style, I guess, mainly is the most visible thing, trying to make them aerodynamic. Of course, this thing is the least aerodynamic thing on the field, probably, but to me, it has the most character. I don't really think the new ones, even though I have an 86 myself convertible, the new ones don't have the character that these old ones did. when I drive this thing on the road, I get a pretty good reaction from the public and from the authorities. But it seems like it doesn't really get me any trouble. I cruise around, don't bother anybody. Here, the police have stopped me a couple of times. They just want to look at it. That makes it kind of nice. Of course, when I drive through the fairgrounds and kick up some dust, that creates a little bit of havoc, but I guess that can be expected with something like this. The car has a tube chassis and frame. It's got a lamb strut front end, lamb disc brakes, 9-inch Ford. It's got a 4-link system on it. It's got all the goodies, rack and pinion steering. The motor's probably the healthiest thing in the car. I'm real proud of the motor. I wanted to do something this time with no nitrous and no blower. This is true horsepower. Like I said, it's close to 800 horsepower, and it's all true horsepower.
Power, one of the Corvette's strongest suits. But just as the basic lines are sometimes just the start for customizers, so too is the car's basic power plant. From the beginning, the Corvette was meant to be a high-performance car, and that meant racing. The Corvette has proven itself a winner and the receptive host to nearly every conceivable performance innovation.
They can have all the original ones. These Corvettes were made for racing.
Scoops, wheelie bars, slicks, racing cams, and heads all add up to keeping Corvettes running ahead of the pack.
It's got a Charlie Garrett prepared 454 in it. It's 535 cubic inches. And dynoed at 750 horsepower. It's got one very grand dominator on it, Rodex heads. The car only weighs 2,200 pounds. So I have tags on it. I drive it everywhere in Maryland. That's what Corvette is, America's fun sports car, right?
Well, what do you think about when you're driving this thing and all these Corvette owners, these purists look at you?
Well, it used to bother me with my other Corvettes, but I've sort of grown used to it. And most of them realize now that I love the car just as much as they do. I don't like to change the outsides that much. This one really is all stock on the outside except for the hood scoop. Of course, it's got a hand-built tube chassis and all, but it still has all the original Corvette lines, so it really doesn't bother me too much. Most of the guys now, I think, are accepting it more because these type of cars are really the in thing now, to build a pro street car out of a Corvette. And they get so much publicity, it seems like it helps the whole Corvette idea. But my split one I had before this was in, 100 times more magazines than it ever would have been if it was original.
What's the mystique about a Corvette?
That's a good question. That's a real good question. I'm not really sure what it is. It's just something about a Corvette. If you have a Corvette, it seems like even if you sell it, you always end up with another one. It's like once you have one, you always have to have one. And most of the guys that I know that have them are the same. They feel the same way about it. There's just something about these cars that just puts you on a different level for some reason. I mean, we're still the same kind of guy, but you just care about your car so much more. There's some nice ones here today.
I have just about everything I need to celebrate the holidays, but I'm cruising for one more must-have item. A 2023 season pass for all the Carlisle car shows. It's the perfect gift. Buy yours before January 3rd and save 20% off the full price. Purchase yours online at CarlisleEvents.com. And Merry Christmas from all of us at Carlisle Events.
And while the cars are the most beautiful things at Corvettes at Carlisle, they're not the only pretty bodies on display.
lucky man is Captain Lee, and he just won our giveaway car.
Such a fantastic feeling to be at Carlisle. We're so excited. Thank you, Carlisle. Thank you.
I think that what's really impressive is the amount of people this year for right now. I think during a time when the economy's not really real strong, but there is a lot of people here today.
Looking and touching and buying. Carlisle offers that and more, especially at the Collector Corral. Here's where all the buying and selling takes place. You can roam the parking area and get an eyeful of beauty and grace, but in the Collector Corral you can sit in the cars and actually get a feel for what pumps these Vette lovers up. Do you long for a 50s hot rod? For Corvettes, the 1958 through 62 cars were the start of a golden age. An example for most Corvette lovers is the 1963 split-window coupe. And though they cost a good buck, a classic Corvette only appreciates in value, especially if you're lucky enough to get just the right one.
We have the world's largest Corvette swap meet here, pinpointing anything you need for your Corvette, be it the smallest part, the little nut, the little bolt that's needed to complete an accurate restoration, all the way to the car covers, a whole body if you need it, the whole front end, motor. It's endless.
Row after row of vendors with parts of all kinds, ready to meet every collector's need.
Virtually every part that exists can be found here. If you can't find it, I doubt it was made.
Corvette dealers and traders from throughout the country come to Carlisle to wheel and deal. And what better place to find that special part than this giant swap meet?
I think our largest attraction, if I have to pinpoint it, would be the swap meet.
Even if you're not looking for parts, how about just looking?
From my experience, it's the most impressive thing around if you're interested in Corvettes.
Yeah, and another thing is...
It's impressive as hell, I swear to God. You walk around.
We're extremely fortunate that we live this close. All you gotta do is look, and you see Florida plates, see
Ontario, Canada,
Missouri,
Jersey, Illinois.
They come from everywhere here. We're just lucky we live in Pennsylvania and we can see it all.
A lot of greetings from Club Corvette of Finland.
Paljon terveisiä Corvettes Carlisleen Club Corvette of Finlandilta. It's power here.
Saturday night, it's the Corvette Cruise. Chip and Bill Miller are the leaders of this pack as it heads into downtown Carlisle for a 50s block party.
We got him! Squeeze him out now! Squeeze him out!
More than 400 Corvettes take part in this procession.
One of the highlights of our show is the parade that heads downtown Carlisle and culminates in an evening party. This parade is the one thing that really ties us in with the town of Carlisle. It's the thing we do that pulls people out of their homes and out of their windows and whatever to see 400 Corvettes in a procession. In the town is simply thrilling. It's something that just can't be expressed in words. It pulls the camaraderie of us to the people of Carlisle, and all of a sudden we're accepted and enjoyed for what we are, car enthusiasts, Corvette enthusiasts, Corvette lovers. We're like a friendly army invading this little town of Carlisle.
Spectators line the streets for a spectacle unlike any other in the world. Families, couples, children, All types and ages of car enthusiasts become caught up in the spirit of camaraderie that sets Vette City apart. Corvette lovers, they'll be back next year for the parties, for the new and old friends, and for the spirit that defines Vette City. The spirit that is Corvettes at Carlisle.
This exodus from the fairgrounds into the town of Carlisle is something you'll never forget. It's a memorable experience that'll last in most people's mind forever. The 1991 edition is our 10th show. It's the biggest, it's the best, it's the most fun, and I'm just as high as can be because it's over and everybody's leaving with a smile. There's a mood and a feel here at Corvettes at Carlisle. It's the most friendly atmosphere that I can imagine. It's my favorite show. It always will be. It's my baby. It's my brainchild, and I love it, and I love the people.
I have just about everything I need to celebrate the holidays, but I'm cruising for one more must-have item. Spectator admission tickets for Corvettes at Carlisle 2023. Buy yours before January 3rd and save 20% off the full price. Purchase yours online at carlisleevents.com. And Merry Christmas from all of us at Corvettes at Carlisle.